Hello people, viewers. Today I've taken a day off. I'm not actually out in the water. Went yesterday, I got a few fish, that was alright, but my main purpose of this video is to show you my beast, my setup. About 4 years ago I bought this kayak, brand new, Malibu Stealth 9. It's pretty costly, it cost me about $1,000, but it's a purpose-built kayak for fishing, and I've done these following little adjustments to it, because all I got was a hole with the general setup is like the doors and the fish box, as you see. That's where I put my live. That's my live well, which I've put a plug in there to stop the what the problem I've been having is that whenever I get a fish, or I get multiple fish, one fish will stay over the hole and stop the oxygenated water getting to the others, and then I'm left with a heap of dead fish instead of keeping some live. So at the end of the day, if I want to let a couple go, I can do that. If I want to use live bait, I can do that now. It's not going to have the same problem. Yeah, anyway, that's my live well. These are my little side compartments, and I keep odds and ends like my lure retriever. It's a little gadget that I send down my line to get my lures back and I get snagged, because I fish pretty much a lot with lures. It's something that I like doing, and it's very productive for me. Outside I keep my hooks and my sinkers. When I want to bait fish, I can do that. I'm just airing it out at the moment, which is a good idea. We'll have to eat. If anybody else out there who's got a Malibu, make sure that you air your kayak out after each use, because you get moisture build up inside, and it smells very, very bad after a while. You'll end up having a problem with mould in that inside your kayak, and it's not. Every 6 months it's a good idea to rinse your kayak with bleached water. I put in one or two parts of bleach into, say, 10 litres of water, warm water, and I'll give it a good flush. Anyway, that said, these are me following. This is the gear I take out, as opposed to what I used to take out. This is just a normal $25 tackle box job that I bought from Kmart, or over in the States, over there in the States if you're watching right now. The place is called Walmart. This is just the gear that I take with me, just like estuary. I've got me divers, my diving lures, me shallows, just under the surface, my smalls, and then we selected just the vibrating lures, bibless minnows as you call them. Now I've got me poppers, me stick baits, and I've got these little gems. These me life prawns. They look unreal, as you can see. Yeah, they're pretty well. They're dynamite. I like the realness of them. These are me bolt minnows. They swim like a proper fish. Anyway, that's not about my lures. I'll show that in another segment. And this guy on the back here, that's my battery that I've attached, which runs my sounder. And that hooks onto there. This is me console. You can buy them, but you're looking at least $300 to buy them, and I thought, bugger that, I'll make one. So that's what I did a few years ago when I first bought the kayak. And all it does, it just slides onto the rails, as you can see. Right, slides on, very easy to put on. Then the foot pegs that came with the kayak, they slide on like that. And what that does, these pins that go in, which I drill the holes in myself, being very careful not to drill right all the way through, or you'll end up getting holes in, you end up drilling holes into the hull of the kayak, which is not a good thing. Alright, I slide on like that. Just makes it a bit more stable and more rigid. It's not going to go anywhere. Right, and then I put this here. It goes in like so. And And then on the back of the sounder, I plug the sounder in. It's just so easy just to hook everything up. You know, and it's made it so I can rinse it. It's easy to be uninstalled when I need to and give it a good rinse. This little thing is a thing that a gadget I made myself. What that does, it holds the transducer. And all this is, I'll move the battery out of the way. Right, this is the transducer. This comes from the sounder. This is what sends the signals out. The people out there that are aware of what a sounder is will know what this part is, what this component is. It sends a signal out, and that's where you get all your measurings, all your soundings, readings from. You know, whether there's a fish under a school of fish under your boat or under your kayak, and most importantly, it tells you what the depth that you're fishing in and what sort of structure is underneath, as to that's where the fish are. Always look for people. That's my first tip. Always look for structure, because that's where fish are. Because the simple fact is, you've got your small shrimp, your small prawns, you know, all your small stuff, your worms and all that sort of stuff, that attracts the smaller fish. And then, if you're like me, you fish for flathead in Australia, or bass over in America, or yeah, all your predatory fish, they go and feed off the smaller fish, and so on and so on. So basically, it's a marine supermarket, as you could call it. So that's what you got to look for. Right, and all I do with this goes underneath. That slides onto here. Today I'm less room to work with because it's not up on. And if you can see it, basically you get the idea. That slides in there like that, and I'll just put that. That's just it's not a control knob or anything, people. That's just a security. It just stops the whole business end of it falling out back through the scupper hole, which I don't want, because then it's not going to work properly. Alright, that's how it goes through. What I've done with these holes is, you'll notice a couple of these scupper holes, I've put mesh, well, gutter guard mesh over it. It's what they use, people put in the gutters of the houses to stop the leaves from getting in the gutters. I've utilised it there. The reason is, when I'm out fishing and I'm using a small blade, which is these guys, basically it just stops your small losing tackle loss, basically. You know, as you can understand, very easy to drop one of these through, and as you can see, it's now caught. Shit. But as saying that, I'd rather, at least you know you're not going to lose that lure now. Alright, that's the reason I put it there, to stop that from happening, because it's already happened to me once, and I don't want to. It can be quite costly, especially if it's a lure that's, you know, 15 bucks. They're not cheap, so that's why I put that over there. Yeah, anyway, that's enough of me talking about that. This thing is, as you can see, people, it's my motor. I did used to use a Java's water snake. I don't like them. I've had problems. I know other people. I've had them. Known my uncle. He bought a Java's water snake, and he had nothing but problems with it. And yeah, anyway, I basically went and bought a different motor after I threw my old water snake out because it was no good. I bought this guy, Monza 30-pound thruster. Bought it from a place called FX Lark, and here just a couple of suburbs away from where I live, Mundara, and it's a pity that that place is no longer open, because they had a lot of good stuff. It was awesome. Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to get this motor for nix, and I've had no trouble with it whatsoever. It's bloody awesome, you know. And as you can see, I've made this arm. The whole seat component is all actually one piece. I actually made that. What that is actually, if you have a look, and yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I use a silly use you as a dumb or anything, but as you can see, these two, what it is two milk crates stuck end to end, and then attached end to end by the use of heavy gauge cable ties. And then what I've done, I've trimmed it a whole lot to represent a seat. This then I've got attached to this, which is just a piece of aluminium square tubing that I salvaged off something that a mate of mine was throwing out, so I grabbed it. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, got to give him a raps for that, because it's where I got it from. He's probably shaking his head right now, and good on him, because that's where it came from. And off here, this is my outrigger, which I made myself. You can buy them, but they're $300 or $400, probably more. How I made this, people, was I got two body boards, boogie boards. I got a boogie board and I cut it right down the middle, and I brought the two halves back together with a aluminium frame inside it. So it goes like a T section that goes right along the whole length. Connected it all up, glued it up. So it's got a T section, and then I brought the two pieces together, glued it up. And then what I did, I got some fiberglass resin and fiberglass sheeting. But prior to that, I'll give you a bit of a warning, people. You've got to totally insulate the body boards before you do any resining, because the fiberglass resin will eat straight into your foam of your board, and believe me, you'll have a fire. It's a chemical reaction basically. So what I did, I got this special tape. It's like a aluminium insulation tape. I don't know how easy it is to come by. I was just lucky enough that I was actually given a roll of it by someone I knew. So I utilised that, and it paid off. And then I just resined it all up. So she's solid as, but she's very buoyant at the same time. Even though the kayak is already stable in its design, having this has made it even more stable, especially so that I've got the motor on the side, which is a little bit more weight to one side. That stabilises the whole thing up. Now the motor, what this is, people, is a 12 to 26, a 12 volt versus 26 amp hour 10 hour sealed battery. I have two of these. It's rigged up in a series. There's two ways you can wire it up. You rig it up in parallel, you will double your charge to your voltage to 24. That's not what I want. I want it to keep it at 12 volt, because the motor runs off 12 volt. If I was to rig it up in 24, I'd blow my motor up. It'd just destroy it. So that's the reason why I did it that way. And it's just held together by just a strap. It's just strapped all together, stuck together. And yeah, and all that goes, that battery fits under there. So it's under there. It's a bit of weight, and the wires just the clamps go through here, hooks it up, bang. Anyway, that's another thing on my beast. As you know, so I've got a lot more rod holders off it coming off, more than what I need, but it's good. So if I want to fish for a bait, I can do that. I can have this one off here. This is just if I want to fish off the side, I can do that. And then I have one here for just holding a lure rod or whatever. My phone, I have it off here. And usually I have it lanyarded so it doesn't, if it falls over the side. It's only a cheap phone that I'm using at the moment, because well, I've got problems with my other phone. This is my sounder. My compass, which is, for what my style of fishing is, I don't really need it, but it's handy to have. If you see everything is lanyarded, this is my fish grip. It grabs it by the mouth. Especially you got fish that's like got teeth like big trailer, flathead. You've got to have one of these guys, because they saves your hands. the pliers. This is my lie detector, Shimano brag mat. It's a fish measurer. Basically, it's good to lay it out, you know. It's good when you've got fish up to here, you know, you can measure it out, and yeah, it's all good. And the next little thing I'm going to show you is what they call as an anchor trolley. What it is, they basically, if the wind, like today, it's blowing a bit of a, I think it's blowing from the, yeah, it's blowing from the north. Basically, if you want to fish, you don't want to be fishing into the wind. You don't want to be fishing into the wind, you want to be fishing away from the wind, so the wind's blowing behind your back. So what I'll do, in that aspect, just get this lure out. I think she's stuck, people. Ah, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. What it does, get back to the anchor trolley. This is my anchor trolley. What it does, in case it's blowing from the north, what I will do is I'll anchor it up. I'll set my anchor so she's nice and firm, and then because I want to fish facing away from the wind, I will move. I pull on this rope, I'll pull it to the back. Alright, get some of these runners, and what that will do, the wind will blow the kayak around so that the nose will be pointing south. Right, because the wind's blowing from the north, it'll swing me around. Basically, it makes it a lot harder, it makes it a lot easier, it makes it a lot easier for me to position my kayak. I don't have to run from one end to the other of the kayak, you know, lean over things, knock things over, possibly capsize it, well, not that it'll happen, but it just makes the whole process a lot easier, you know. So it's a good little idea that I came up with from another source from YouTube back in my learning days. It was good. Yeah, so you can see it's got a full movement. Wherever I want to go, it goes. Alright. That I made up myself, all the components. It's pretty easy to make. The only thing I didn't buy was this part, which was quite pricey. Bought it from a yachting place. I wish I had known, because later on I came across this gadget. I got that from a exercise machine. Yeah, I'm one for recycling bits and pieces, and yeah. Anyway, this is another thing. This is a very much important piece that I like to have when I'm out in a big, such as Lake Illawarra. Basically, this is so that people out there can see where I am, especially people that ride around on jet skis. They've got no excuses for not saying they can't see me, because bright yellow, big bright orange flag plus an Australian flag on the end of it. They can't say that. It's well and truly in their face. This here is another camera mount. Right, if I want to put my camera, which I'm filming with, I can hook it onto there, and basically it can give you another perception of my fishing, different angle, you know, so on and so on. This is another little section up here that I have. I can put other stuff in if I want to. Yeah. Anyway, that's my craft. Another rod holder off here. Just a little box that I put off the end in the back here, just to carry stuff. Strapped in. Yeah. This is another little gadget I made. This helps me get this guy off here. If I'm out in the water and I get line or a piece of rope caught around the prop, that helps me undo it. It's just a T-section of a piece of aluminium tubing. with a couple of 4 slices cut in it. It's yeah, I had one came with Jabba's water snake, but even that broke, so I've made my own up. This is a, well, you know what this is. This is my landing net. I like to use a folding landing net because it keeps it out of the way, low profile. Plus, when I want to go bass fishing, which I don't use my kayak for that really, because where I go is very overgrown with a lot of bush. Basically, I go bushwalking, and all that does, it just slips in the back of my vest, and off I go. I've made this one telescopic, just makes it easy for the reach, you know. It clicks in. Alright, I can, as you can see, I can reach, gives me a bit of reach. But anyway, and the reason I put a lanyard on it, it's a smart idea, people, because if you don't, there will become a time when you will lose a piece of equipment overboard, and that's not a good feeling. It's not very nice at all. It's a real pain in the backside. Can be quite costly. So plus frustrating, especially if you lose your landing net and then later on you know, you don't want to have to pack up and go home, especially if the fish are biting. But you lose your landing net and then you hook a big one, and you've got nothing to land it with. So anyway, now some of my equipment. This is what I call. This is my dual purpose lure. This is what I use for catching lures now. I used to use lures now. This is what I used to use a fair bit. It's Atlantic top rod. It's a Shimano Mexican Fire. It's an awesome rod. Made it to a Daiwa ad with 6 pound gel spun and 6 pound fluorocarbon. I still use that time to time for lures, especially for soft plastics. It's a dream outfit. It's really smooth, really good. But yesterday I was just using it just to whack nippers on, and you know, using the bass yabbies and using them. It's ideal for that. And this outfit, I use this for my lure fishing. And if you notice, to use people out there, you probably think, what sort of rod is that? This is what they call an interline rod. The reason they call it interline is because the only run it has is just that initial where the line goes through the middle of the rod. The whole feeling of the rod, how it works and everything, it feels a little bit different to a conventional rod. But believe me, people, don't underestimate it. I've caught big fish on this outfit now, and it's ideal. I use it bass fishing. It's ideal for that because you know, you don't have runners, you don't have the line exposed, you don't get caught up in branches and stuff. As you know, you get less hang-ups on vegetation, which is perfect. That's good. And on top of that, I've made it to another Daiwa ad. Get my story right there, people. And yet again, the same sort of line. It's the 6 pound gel spun. Then a 6 pound fluorocarbon. And this lure, people, is what they call a Berkeley flicker shad, the purple tiger. I'll enhance that name. I'll tell you again, it's a purple tiger for 4mm. In my opinion, it's a bloody awesome lure. Get it Big W or Kmart or Walmart in America. Sorry about the mess there, people, but yeah, for $5 lure, you're not going to get a better lure. I've caught a stack load of fish on this guy. Yeah, the flathead absolutely love it. I've got bass on them, I've caught brim on them, and the flathead, they just absolutely smash them. So they're a good lure for $5, you know. You know, and what I do, I use a lure clip, a small lure clip. This makes it a lot better, make it easier to change lures if you need to. Use as small as possible. You don't want to use a big whopping great big lure clip when it's a tiny lure, because you impede the action of the lure. And at the back here, this is all my rope. This is I just use a normal hand line, an Alvi hand line, hand caster. I'm proud to actually get hold of an Aussie built one. very heavy duty. This is a little device I use if I don't want to use my anchor, but if I'm up to say I want to fish beside a pylon or a tree, I just grip that onto the tree. It works the same as an anchor, just holds me there. And I just put all that in there. This gadget, this is an essential piece of equipment if you fish at night. It's what they call a navigational light. You can't see it, but yeah, you must have one of these. Actually, by law, you have to have one. It's, you know, it's essential that you have one. You know, it's for your safety. This is a light. A little turn out at night time. It's a light, so that makes it over easy for other people to see you, other boat users. So you're not going to have an accident, not going to have a collision. Yeah, so that's the rundown of my equipment. Yeah, you know, this is my, you know, I call this outfit many names. You know, my name is SS Terminator, or SS Berserker. This is, yeah, she's a beast. I spend many hours out in this craft, and yeah, yeah, I'm really proud of what I've done with it. And my wife Jackie, she gets a little bit annoyed. You know, why is he? I wouldn't say annoyed, but she just can't believe what I've done to it. But she likes to eat fish like I do, so it's all good. One last look. You can see extra floor space, a bit of a stabilizer. Gets a bit more, you know, holds the thing straight, true. Yep. Oh, time for me to put it away. Anyway, cheerio, adios amigos.